مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه وخليله وحبيبه، أرسله ربه بالهدى ودين الحق فبلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة فكشف الله به الأمة. فاللهم اجزه عنا وعن والدينا والإسلام والمسلمين خير ما جزيت به نبيا عن أمته ورسولا عن رسالته. عباد الله، أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله. قال عز وجل: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. فاللهم أحينا مسلمين وتوفنا مسلمين والحقنا بالصالحين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Quick reminder before I start: any talking, any involvement in the phone, playing with the phone or anything else will affect the word of your Jum'ah. لعب في الهواتف في الكلام يؤثر على الأجر في الجمعة. نظر للباقي إن شاء الله. ما زلنا نواصل الكلام على أعظم مخلوق وأفضل مخلوق محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Continue talking about the best of the creation of Allah, Muhammad, Rasulullah, the best person to walk on the face of this earth, the one that Allah Azza wa Jalla sent as nur, as light for humanity. نتكلم عن خاتم الأنبياء, the seal of all the prophets. كل حركة من حركاته مؤيدة بالوحي. Every movement, every gesture of his life is supported by the guidance and وحي from Allah سبحانه وتعالى. ربما يتفوق الإنسان في مجال أو اثنين. Human beings, you might be superior in one, maybe two different areas. You are a hero when it comes to whatever areas of life. ولكن محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم تفوق في كل المجالات. Talking about the Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم, he was superior when it comes to everything. All the aspects of his life, عليه الصلاة والسلام, he was an example because he was sent by Allah Azza wa Jalla to be so. The way he speaks, the way he deals with his enemies before his friends, family members, in his transactions, at times of peace and at times of war, he was always exemplary. صلى الله عليه وسلم. صلوا عليه. هو الأفضل عند الله. He is the best, chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are living and we have been living with the seerah of the best human being for the past 2 weeks. Allah described him saying, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. This is not an organization. This is not Forbes. This is not a few people who follow certain criteria to choose the best in one area. No, this is Allah. The knower of everything, the one who knows everything, he said, this is the best. Indeed, you have the best of akhlaq. He is saying, Azza wa Jal, indeed, you are upon the great khuluq, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. No one else that Allah swear by his life except for Muhammad. قال العمرك, I swear by your life, O Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as he said in the Quran. رجل لن تحاسب الناس ولن تحاسب الخلائق يوم القيامة إلا عندما يشفع له. This is the person, we know this is a hadith, but we really have to put it in perspective. People will not be judged. The hisab, the reckoning, the accounting on the day of judgment would not start unless Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam goes to Allah and asks him the shafa'ah and the intercession, the greatest shafa'ah for everybody, for Allah to just start the hisab. This is the Prophet that will not only intercede for his followers, but for everyone else. يوم القيامة إن شاء الله نشرب من حوضه ونال كوثره. We, inshallah, all those who believe in him, they will drink from his hand, from his fountain, and they will go to him, alayhi salatu wassalam, and that's all dependent upon knowing him and following him and loving him. Because some of those who said we follow him, they say we follow him, when it comes to that point in the day of judgment, coming to the fountain of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam to give water, some will be blocked. You go back. They were believers, they were mu'minun, but it was just a matter of time. They were not true believers. يقول سحقا. It would be said, you are losers, go away, you you're not allowed to drink here because you changed. He said, they are from my followers. He said, yes, but they changed your way. We need to know his way, his life, his sirah, his sunnah, and follow in it, so we will be with those who drink from his hand. أول من يبعث من الخلائق يوم القيامة. He is the first of all the humans to come back to life on the day of judgment. The first one to see al-Ba'th. حامل لواء الحمد يوم القيامة. He is the carrier of the banner of praise of Allah, of hamd to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the day of judgment. صاحب المقام المحمود. He is the one with a special status that's due for only one person from amongst all the humans and all the prophets. And he is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam who gained and gained that status. We are talking about the person الذي فتحت له السماء فارتقى وعلى فوقها صلى الله عليه وسلم بجسده وروحه. This is the person who was taken above the skies and into the skies and into Jannah, and he saw what's in there with his body and with his soul as he was alive in the journey of Isra wal Mi'raj sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When he was taken into this journey, not only the people of earth know him, angels in the skies know him. Knocking on the door of the first sky, who is that? The angel, the guardian in the first sky is asking, this is Jibreel, who is with you, this is Muhammad. Oh, is he a prophet? Did he become a prophet already? Yes, they know him. And they open for him. Jannah will not open and is illegal to open for anyone before Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When he gets into the doors of Jannah and he knocks, who is it? Muhammad. The guardian of Jannah will say, Bika umirtu an la aftah li ahadin qablik. I was commanded to open to no one before you, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallu alayhi. This is your prophet. This is our beloved. This is our messenger, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Maqam, he's in no way to compare him to any human being. Maybe to some prophets, he is the highest of status even amongst the prophets. There is no way we can compare him to a leader or a president or a reformer. Every human being, when it comes to talk about Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, is down there. Yet he is still bashar. In a human being, but he is the number one human being chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we talk about him, alayhi salatu wasalam, even when you compare him to angels, we can talk about this forever. Jibreel alayhi salam is accompanying Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and asking permission to go from one sky to the next, until it gets to a point where Jibreel alayhi salam himself, the angel, this is the archangel, this is the main angel, Al-Ruh, Al-Qudus. He said, my status is up to here. I have permission to go only up to here. This is my limit. I cannot go any further. If you go, you will pass. If I go, I will burn. His status is higher than Jibreel, even Jibreel alayhi salam. Now, we're not talking about just mere incidents and stories when we talk about his life. We're talking about a life that was set as an example. If you want to be successful in this life, and if you want to win the hereafter and enter Jannah, just look at this life, the life of that person, of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, both as individuals and as communities and as nations at large. Look at the Muslims nowadays, and I don't want to talk much about this. Is that the same ummah that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam taught? Is that the ummah that Allah described as kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas? You are the best of nations to be set out for people. What we are talking about is 60 plus countries, Muslim countries. 60 plus, or majority Muslims. Most of them are fighting against one another. And most of them are killing one another. About borders, about ethnicities, about races. It's not, when we talk about the seerah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that doesn't relate. This is something wrong. And we don't want to judge others. When we look at communities, Muslims getting together, even at times of freedom here, see issues. No. We need to talk about the seerah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and we need to embrace the seerah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The seerah and the life and the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam brings people together. People in Medina, we talked about this in the past few weeks, they are fighting one another. The very people of Medina. And now you're adding to them a totally different component, people from different city, different culture. But he managed, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, to put them all together. Mu'athab and Muhajirin and Ansar, they will all come to the masjid. They will all behave as one woman. That's what his life, that's what his legacy, that's what his teachings, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, are giving us, or is giving us. That's what we should learn from him, alayhi salatu wa salam. Yes, the Quran has spoken the truth, and yes, this ummah is the best. Only if we believe in Allah and follow Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But if we do not believe in Allah as we should do, or we believe in Allah but take it our way, we don't follow the example of Muhammad, then we won't be the best ummah. And we see it with our eyes. And I'm not saying this to spread frustration. No, we just need to reflect and think and ponder over all of this and relate to his life as well. This is where we need his guidance, and he guides, whether he was alive or after his life on earth. He still guides. He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we believe in this, and we have yaqeen in this, we have certainty that his promise is going to come true. In Allah, Allah has made earth all look like, Google Earth, all in front of me. And I saw the east and west, and there's no corner, no place, no house on earth except that Allah will bring this faith into it. Faith will reach east and west, and another tents, people live in tents, people live in high mansions, faith will be there. And we see it's happening. Now the victory, the izzah, the dignity of this ummah as we read it in history, where is it? Yes, traces of it is still remaining, but it's all upon us after believing in the promise of Allah. Looking at the seerah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, learning. We heard this from the seerah, we heard and believing in the promise. This ummah being victorious from his life. You look at him, alayhi salatu wasallam, and the believers when they were digging the trench around Medina, and we talk about this in Ghazwat al-Ahzab, the Confederates or the trench battle, all these people came to attack Medina. And the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam didn't know what to do, so man suggested is to get drenched. So we don't have, avoid it, we don't have to fight. And it happened. As they were digging, they came across a huge rock. What should we do? They called the leader. Muhammad alayhi salam is coming and he's hitting it 3 hits, and he was enough, he was so strong and supported by the miracles of Allah. What did he say? Allahu Akbar. It was the first hit. Sparkles coming out. I see the lights. I see Usul al-Sham. I see serious palaces are opening for us Muslims. I see Yemen becoming a Muslim. I see Paris, Persia becoming a Muslim. What? Are you telling us this when we Muslims? That's what the hypocrite said. The hypocrite said we don't feel even safe to even go and use the restroom. It's like they are besieged by people from all around them. For believers, this is what Allah and His Messenger has promised us. Allah and His Messengers always say and promise the truth. We believe it. At times of test, believers still believe in the promise that this ummah is victorious and this ummah will be victorious. They have this yaqeen. For the hypocrites, they said, it's all like delusion. What Allah and His Messenger are promising us, we will rule this life of this deen is going to go everywhere, is nothing but delusion. That's what the hypocrites dealt with the wa'd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the promise of Allah and the promise of the Messenger. So we should have the wa'd, especially at those times. When we are so many, but subhanAllah, we know what's going on with Muslims everywhere. Number 2, in order for us to change after believing in the promise, after having certainty, is we should work. We should realize that it's not on the Imam, it's not on the leaders of Muslims' countries' events. It's on me, and I say me, not in him or her. What did I do? And I'm not here talking big, I have to go change the word. Don't change the word. These are big words. I'm telling you, change yourself. What did you do with your life? Did you look at the guidance of Muhammad ﷺ and make it change your life? Because guess what? If you change your life, you will change the world. Muhammad ﷺ, that's what he did. One person in Mecca, darkness all over. People worship the stones, people kill one another, and then he's bringing the truth to them, being rejected, persecuted. And fast forward 10, 15 years, 20 years, subhanAllah, all of them are Muslims. And the bordering countries are Muslims. And now, a few years or a few decades after that, the whole world, you go all the way to India, and all the way to Europe, Muslims. That's the dignity of Islam. Believing in certainty, yaqeen in the promise of Allah and working. Abu Darda is working. Umar and Abu Bakr are all working. So what is my responsibility? Your responsibility is very simple and easy. Look at the Sunnah, look at the life of Muhammad ﷺ, and take the light from there. Look at his life. Simple as that. As a businessman, as a father, as a teacher, as a young person, because this is one of the beautiful things about his life. Sometimes he is the victorious leader, and another time he was just like a refugee. He doesn't have anywhere to go. You see him crying there, being rejected by his own town. And another time he is a victorious leader. You see him poor and hungry, that he would have to tie not one but 2 stones on his stomach, super hungry. And other times he's having gold left and right. And he's super rich, والسلام, giving the money left and right. You will see the example in the life of Muhammad والسلام. And he did it in a very simple way. Nothing is complicated. You don't have to study books and goes. Look at his life and go as simple as he did والسلام. Being faced with challenges and issues and problems at home, with his own people, from his own communities, from his own followers. Sometimes he's dealing with hypocrites. He's dealing with people who reject him and do not believe in his faith. And he's dealing with people who are very right behind him. He's dealing with everybody, but he's dealing with exemplary. That's the marvelous thing about his seerah. From signing trees to dealing with a little child at the masjid or around the masjid, you will see him, you will see the example in the life of Muhammad. We just need to find our role and do it. We don't want to come to this life in order to يقولون أرحام تخلف وأمور تبدأ. We don't want to come just to be bored, live our life just for ourselves and our desires, eating, drinking, and then we go to the grave. We live this life just as another human being. That's not Muslims. Muslims who come for a mission, and our mission is to live on the example of Muhammad and hopefully spread it. Just share it, spread it. You don't have to be in conferences. You don't have to have big. Just spread it in the nicest way, in the easiest way. Spread it through your thoughts, through your actions. We need to see people around us need to see Islam. Our kids need to see Islam on us. We are talking about classes and this and that. Yes, all of that is important. But you know what? If your kids see Islam on you, they will automatically become Muslims. Good Muslims. They just need to see it on you. So it's our challenge to just work it ourselves. If we want to change our kids and our communities and our society, just take the lead and the initiative to change our life. And how do we change it? Shall we go this way or that way as nations? The Ummah has tried in the past 100 years everything. Shall we go capitalism, communism? Shall we go after those people, democracy, or this? Why do we go after that? When the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Taraktu fikum, I have left in you ma in i'tasamtum bihi," something that if you hold firm to it, you will never go deviant after me. The book of Allah and my sunnah. The book of Allah and his life, والسلام, which is a reflection of the implementation of the book of Allah. That's what and why we study the seerah and we mention the life and legacy of Muhammad والسلام, to know him, to believe in him even more, والسلام, to follow in his footsteps, وسلم, to hold firm in his ways, and finally to spread that. By the way, many of us, if not all of us, are already doing that. We just need to do a little better. We don't want to go average. If we do better, we have people coming to accept Islam. And we have people being amazed by us as we are with our problems. I see it and you see it. The doctors who are working here, people see Islam. And Allah, my neighbor the other day, she said, send salam Dr. Nahas, I worked with him for years. People work with Muslims, people see Muslims, we need to tell them, we need to make sure. And be also complete, not just in one direction. Be Muslims, not only in the masjid, not only in one area, but then in the other area where we need to follow Muhammad who was an example. He was perfect in all the directions and dimensions. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us follow on his footsteps and love Muhammad and make Allah make his life the fullness of our life. Allahumma ameen. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله رب العالمين ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله الأمين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Loving of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and adopting and embracing his life and his seerah would not make us, abandon life. باتباعنا لهدي النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لن نهمل الحياه، لن نكون على هامش الحياه، والله سنكون في مركز ووسط الحياه. سنسعى بهذه الدنيا وسنفوز بالاخره ان شاء الله. Following the guidance of Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم, sometimes we think, who's going to make me a sheikh or sheikha? Somebody who's going to reject life and not enjoy life. Somebody who will have to pray that much and lose his money for whatever purpose and dedicate his life. Not have time even for himself, it's not that. It's nothing like that. You will actually follow Muhammad will make us live a better life, better quality life for ourselves, for people around us. It will put us right in the middle of everything. Go play your soccer, but your akhlaq will be like the akhlaq of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Go be in the school. Go be a businessman or woman. Be a teacher, be a father, be whatever you want. Being guided by the Nur, the light that came from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You'll be the best father. You'll be the most successful merchant. You will not carry all of these stresses that we have nowadays. Merchants talk to me about stress, and I don't have time for anything, not even for myself and my family, because you're not following the Hadith of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Being a teenager faced with everything from atheism to bullying and stuff. Well, go learn from Muhammad akhlaq. What did he teach? What did he inculcate and nurture in us? And we need to implement this, and we will have a better life. And inshallah, a better abode in the hereafter. After the khutbah, inshallah, this is the cause and this is the reflection, in my humble opinion, of Muslims getting together, trying to establish a community. One of the most important components of establishing a community here in the West in general and anywhere is to establish the schools, to teach. A halaqah or two here and there may not be enough. We need the school. We send our kids for 8+ hours every day. We need to get them here. And we also have to give them a better education in addition to the Quran and the Hadith and Akhlaq. And that's what this school has been trying to do, at least for the past several decades. Alhamdulillah, may Allah reward everybody who is sustaining the school. So we have a big fundraising to keep it running. It was set from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the state now is funding even those who go to private school. So the tuition is taken care of, alhamdulillah, unlike the years before. However, we have to update our building. We are expanding 2,000 square feet, inshallah, and also the teachers here. It's just a joke to pay somebody 20 or 30,000. That's what it is. But this is our imkaniyat. I mean, this is what we can. So we are trying to raise the income of the teachers to get better quality teacher, and also invest in our teachers, and also expand and offer better service for our school, for our students, in our community. So please stick around for just 5 minutes or so, and do your best to support the school that support our kids. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. اللهم اغفر لنا فإنك أنت الغفور الرحيم، وتب علينا فإنك أنت التواب الرحيم. Oh Allah, forgive our sins, Ya Rabb al-Alameen. Oh Allah, make us follow the footsteps of Muhammad alayhi salam. Oh Allah, make us love this Prophet. Oh Allah, make our hearts love Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the deen and the life of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Quran before all that came through Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات انك هو السميع القريب الجيد الدعوات.